Hello friends, today we're going to be doing another replay analysis for Witch Doctor here. It's a party game around Crusader rank, a little bit of variation, but Crusader. So, because it's party, um, so you asked, like, why did we lose this game? And you've been trying to follow the guides, so we'll focus a little bit on what you're doing. Well, that'll probably be most of the focus on how you're playing, but we'll try to also not spend 50 minutes on the first 10 minutes and like focus a bit more on the team aspect, because this is a party game, and at least I saw you're in a clan with the drow, so at least I'm gonna guess you're friends. Um, so let's start with starting items and imagining the lane. I did brush through this part of the game, like the first couple 10 minutes, so I have a bit of an idea of what's going on. So I know how the lane's going to go, but if I were in your position at the start of this game, it's kind of hard to know who's going to be in this lane. Because Nature's Prophet and Pudge could probably be the 5 or the 4. It's a pub game, so you never really know. Naga's probably the carry, and then Mars or Legion is probably the offlaner and mid. 4 heroes that could have been in your lane. So it is tough to itemize for that. I like your tangos. I think that's good. Windlace is good against Legion, Mars, and Pudge, but it's not so good against Nature's Prophet because he's a ranged hero, and I mean he can sprout you so you're trapped, and even if he doesn't use that, like he will be able to auto attack you a couple times despite having the Windlace. Whereas against melee heroes, you are able to, you see them 400 units away or whatever, you just turn around and they're never really going to hit you if you're fast enough, which the Windlace helps you with. So Windlace, I think, is okay if we could know who is in the lane. It's a little risky against a Nature's Prophet. So what I think might have been better is a Ring of Protection, because that's good against Legion and Mars because they're physical damage, and against Nature's Prophet because he is known as a very strong right clicker. His treants are also going to do a bit of right click damage to you, so the armor would be really nice. It would help you trade. You've already got 2, so that would bump you up to 4, which is about 20% physical resistance. That's quite good. And against Pudge, you would be the same speed as Pudge. He's got 300 move speed. You would have 300 without this Windlace. And he has no armor. So if you right-click trade him, he has a bit more damage, and he has a bit more health. But your armor, plus the fact that you could get Maledict or Stun, and his level 1 is probably, what, Hook or Rot? Hook does a decent amount of damage, yeah, but in terms of just a plain right-click trade, you would actually win if you were standing next to each other, but you're actually a ranged hero, which means he shouldn't even be able to engage on you, and Windlace would be better for that, but you'll be able to still do it with a Ring of Protection, and you'll be safe against these other 3. Whereas with this Windlace, you're good against 3 and weak against 1. I think 3 Clarity is probably 1 too many. I think having 1 or 2 is fine, but I think 3 is a little excessive. So I would say you could do like 2 tangos, a Ring of Protection, a salve, and then however much money. I think you should be able to get. You can get at least 1 clarity, possibly 2. I'm not smart enough to do the math on the fly like that. No, I am. You can definitely do it. The Observer Ward, I hope. Oh, that looks so dumb. The Observer, I think, is fine to start with. I think you shouldn't have even waited at that cliff a little bit because you have the Windlace. You should just sprint out here to ward, which is tough because you don't know who's going to be in your lane. So like against Pudge, I would say somewhere down here is really good, so you can see him hooking. Against Nature's Prophet, you either want to see kind of this area or this area, and I would say this area is a little better. So Pudge is obvious because he's going to try to hook from here, and so if we can see him here, we know to stand far away, and if this guy doesn't hook anything in lane, then he's useless and the lane is won. Whereas Nature's Prophet, he'll want to harass you, yeah, but if he can't do that because you're playing really safe, he's just going to look to pull a lot, or he's going to look to like steal your small camp with his treants, and we kind of don't want him to do that. We don't want to accidentally walk out here and run into a Nature's Prophet. And so having the ward to spot this area to see where he's standing, if he's jungling the small camp or ready to harass us, or over here to see where he's pulling. So therefore, if we're trying to get this ward down really fast at the start and we have to decide like Is it going to be Pudge? Is it going to be Nature's Prophet? I think probably somewhere around here is okay. Because that way you can see either like here or like here. Because that way you see the so let's say it's here. You can see the pull and you can see anyone standing over here. And Pudge does sometimes stand over here to hook if the lane's pushed up a bit. But you would also see him like walk this way. Like say the lane's here, you could see him walk over and here. And even though he would be in fog here, you know he's in this area because we saw him walk here. And so you would just naturally move over to play safe. And if he's like, okay, I'm going to go try to sneak around over here, and he like comes around this way, you're going to see him pass through, and then you're going to notice switch sides again. And then for Nature's Prophet, you're going to see him a bit over here, and then we're going to see him pulling. And this area is going to be a little weak for us, but I mean, we can't cover everything anyways. So I think you might want to save your skill point depending who walks up. Like, for example, say Pudge walks up here. Say he suddenly pops up here. Let's say Drow's a little closer to you. You could probably kill that Pudge if he's on his own, and possibly even if he's not. If you Maledict and then Drow... If Drow uses Frost Arrows, which he should level 1, I think, is generally better. The slow and the extra damage, but mainly the slow, means that you and Drow would both be right-clicking on top of a Maledict as this guy tries to run all the way back to tower. And this guy has no armor. And you could probably get the kill because this just... It does a lot of damage if two people are right-clicking a 0 armor hero. And so I would save it. I think starting Cask is fine, but start it when you need it is generally the idea you want to go for.
Our enemy is crushed and our victory.
Let's speed up a little bit. Let's try not to spend 30 minutes on the first, the laning stage, which I tend to do. I want to try to focus a bit more on the later game decisions. So now you're going to place the ward. I don't hate this location. I think this is a bit better when people are more likely to roam, where like I think LC and Nature's Prophet are going to pressure you a lot, which means the lane is going to be up here quite often. And like even when the lane is here, you're not fully safe against these two heroes. And it's not so likely for the lane to come out here that seeing this would help you. This is like more useful if you have a hero like I don't know, roamers like Earth Spirit. I guess it's kind of okay in case like Pudge rotates in, but I don't know. It's okay. So this is really good. You just click the Nature's... I didn't pause in time, but you did click the Nature's Prophet. You saw that he had a Tango, Blightstone, Ring of Protection. This means you're not going to win trades against this guy. He's going to take less damage from your right clicks, and he's going to do a lot of damage to you. You also see he has an Observer Ward, so you should queue up a Sentry to buy. I know you don't, and yeah, I'm just going to tell you should do that. When you see they have an Observer Ward, you should just buy one. Because this is gold and experience. So you're like buying a Sentry, and as long as you get the D ward, it was like free for you. In fact, you get more gold than you pay. And it's just really good to remove their vision. Nope, switch back to you. So actually, you could also kill... The problem is this is actually 6 seconds, so the rune is about to spawn. If this had been at like 40 seconds, you two could probably kill this guy because he's up here on his own, and you do what I said. You Maledict him, and then you hit him with Frost Arrows and just slow him. And by the time he runs back, he is either dead or has lost a ton of health, and he has to run back or waste all 3 tangos before the lane's even started. But because it's 6 seconds, if you guys go for this kill, you're definitely going to give up the rune. I would say that's kind of okay if you want, but I'm probably more in favor of guaranteeing the rune. And so I think you like don't... So right here, like you don't want to solo trade this guy. I think hitting him... Oh, let me go back to you. So hitting him here, 1, 2, this is good. I wouldn't kite forward. I would be kiting backwards towards the rune, and maybe even not kiting. I just auto attack and let him walk out of range. And if he starts to trade with me, then I'm kiting backwards. But he seemed to be running away, so it's like I don't actually want to chase him because Drow is not here. The 2 of you would beat him in a trade. You by yourself will not win the trade. And you're going to start seeing that now. Now, if the second bounce had gone to him, this would have been about an even trade. But yeah, like, you're still turning around to fight, and you really don't want to. After you throw that cask, I'm just trying to get out. Like, look how much damage you took. And he took about, like, 1/3, a little more than half, or a little less than half, and you took, like, 2/3 of your health. And Drow's also taken, like, 1/3 of her health. So, like, you can't really trade these guys. So we know it's LC and Nature's Prophet. This is going to be a tough lane. What you're going to want to do, as much as possible, you want to get Drow to 6 so she can leave if need be and just go jungle. And actually, before we even get into the lane, let me talk about overall team plan. Naga is a very strong late game hero, but you actually have Zeus and Lion who are very good against illusions. Zeus just puts out so much AoE magic damage that he kills illusions really fast. And Lion in the late game has Mana Drain, just kills off illusions. If he ever gets an Aghanims, this becomes AoE, very good against illusions. He has 2 talents. The +2 Mana Drain target means you can kill 2 illusions like every time. Maybe even 3, depending like if you're lucky on how you target. But it'll instantly kill an illusion. And then the AoE Hex talent, I think that's like one of the best talents in the game. That's crazy to me. But it'll instantly kill all illusions. So even though she has like +1 mirror image and then the Q, so she has like 4 illusions up. Maybe she has a Manta. Maybe she picks up an illusion rune. All dead to an AoE Hex. And AoE Hex is like every 12 seconds. So even if she uses mirror image and you Hex all those and then she uses Manta, it's like, okay, Mana Drain, they're dead. You know, you have so many options to kill illusions. And without her illusions, she's not that great late game. So I would say you guys have a window. Naga comes online when she has Diffusal, Manta, and then a survivability item, which is usually either like Heart or it's usually Heart, but sometimes it can be like Scotty or Satanic maybe. In this game, you guys kind of have a lot of crowd control, so like maybe a Satanic, but probably still a Heart. But yeah, she's kind of on. She's not online until that point, and that is probably 25 to 35 minutes because it's a pub game. There's a lot of variation, but it's usually somewhere around there. And then after that, you guys would struggle for a bit until you reach the point where Lion is like hitting level 20, so he can kill off illusions faster. Zeus at this point will have a lot of damage, and so I would say, you know, probably 45 to 50 minutes and onwards, you guys are starting to look like okay in the late game. So you're ahead to start, then you're probably behind a little bit, and then you guys are kind of even, where it'll depend who initiates. So if like LC jumps Zeus and kills him, you guys are gonna probably lose that team fight. But if Naga like runs up front because she thinks she's invincible with all her illusions, and you like kill all the illusions right away, and then Slardar uses Corrosive Haze on her, and then Drow is attacking a bunch, and then like Finger, Maledict, whatever, and you kill Naga really quickly, then you guys are probably going to win the fight. So it becomes very even in the late game. That's why we're going to look to a bit more of team decisions as the game goes on. And I realize we're at 13 minutes before laning's even begun. So let's start going. So as soon as she uses overwhelming odds, that got to half health. Look to this range creep to deny it. I think you were harassing the LC or going for like these kind of denies, but prioritize the range creep first. We'll speed up a little bit. So we want to... Pulling is difficult against a Nature's Prophet, but we still want to try when possible. Okay, looks like you were trying to do it, and he got in your way. That's fine. Bound to happen. Like I said, it's going to be a tough lane against a Nature's Prophet. I wouldn't walk out this far. So draw this imaginary line wherever the creeps meet, and they're kind of like this. You don't really want to walk past that line unless you know that it is safe to do so. And against an LC and a Nature's Prophet, I would say it's like a very unsafe lane, so I would not want to pass this line. Now, I have talked about like playing in the side as a hard support, and so like, for example, if the offlaner was here, my carry is here, then like, yeah, playing over here and attacking, this can work, but it depends on where and who the 4 position is. And he will just he'll beat me in a trade, so I can't put myself out of position like this. And you might actually even die here. Can't recall. Yeah. After you throw the stun, you should just be running out. It's a little bold to keep trying to auto attack that low. What are you gonna buy? Why am I on? There we go. Yeah, so the Ring of Regen's just not going to do enough for you. Think of it this way. You have 2 armor. He has a Blightstone. So essentially every auto attack he does to you is, let's just round it up to 60 damage for ease. 60 damage per auto attack. It takes 40 seconds for the Ring of Regen to heal 1 auto attack. So if he does 2 auto attacks, 120 damage, it takes 80 seconds for Ring of Regen to heal you up. Whereas it would take a Tango 16 seconds to heal you up. It's not very tough for him to get 2 auto attacks off, right? And so can you imagine needing, like, he can get 2 auto attacks off in like 3 seconds, and now it takes you 80 seconds to heal that up with that Ring of Regen. I think buying a Ring of Protection plus another set of Tangos would be pretty good. Plus, when he casts Sprout, if you Tango those trees, you will you'll get double regen. So it's like you Tango an Iron Branch. It'll last for 32 seconds. So having a lot of Tangos is pretty helpful against a Nature's Prophet, so that Sprout can never really kill you. You can always Tango a tree and run out, and you'll get a lot of regen for it as well. So there's a lot of value in getting extra Tangos against a Nature's Prophet. You want to be a little careful about letting creeps build up like this. So I might, if I were the 2 of you, LC and Nature's Prophet can dive quite easily, especially with the Treants running in, and then they sprout you, and there's like all these creeps on top of you. So when you see the wave start to build up a little bit, like this is 5 versus 3, and it's going to get, it's going to get worse, especially with this overwhelming odds. I would start auto-attacking like the full health creeps and let Drow focus on last hitting. And you have to be a little careful too, right? Don't like put 2 creeps into range of getting last hit, and like she's only going to be able to get 1. So like try to line it up so there's only 1 creep at a time. But you also you want to start reducing these creeps down so you don't get killed. And right now, I don't think you need to turn around. LC has backed off, so we know she's not going to dive. Drow can handle this on her own. You're already level 2. You should come over here to either pull or to see what he's doing. And I'm not sure if it's like a bug from free cam or not, but I think you can see him right now, so you should know this is what he's doing. You should just come over here and contest this. He's probably farming your small camp, because that's kind of what Nature's Prophets do. And so yeah, you're trying to tank some of the damage for her, but I mean, she has Tangos. If she didn't, just share one of your Tangos and then leave her. Yeah. This guy's farming the small camp for free, and you could be over here. Like, you could get the last hit on this Treant, and you could be harassing him with Maledict and Stun. With Maledict and Stun, you can win trades now, because Maledict is pretty good like that, but I would still be careful. Don't let the Treants, just attack you. She got the hard camp pull off, so there were 2 things going on there that you could have done instead of help Drow farm under tower. You could have gone to contest the Nature's Prophet who's farming the small camp. That's probably what I would have recommended you do, because this is safest. And then the other option is to see if LC was trying to pull the hard camp. If she's not diving you, what's she going to do? She's just going to stand here and watch you farm? No, she's going to try to do something. And that's probably going to be the hard pull, which is what she ended up doing. The reason this is more dangerous, though, is because he was here farming, and if you walk over here to contest her, he's just going to close in on you. And he has Sprout, so as you're trying to leave, he can Sprout you. Even if you have Tangos, it's going to still cost a bit of time. It's a little scary to come out here. So I would just contest the Nature's Prophet a bit, let her finish that wave, and then the 2 of you can come over here. But if you were able to prevent this and get away, if you were a more robust hero, like Ogre or something, who isn't likely to die, then yeah, maybe I would come contest this pull. And right now, she's going to get this wave on her own, and you guys are going to split the wave plus this camp, which seems okay, but let's see where the lane ends up balancing out, because this is often not the best. Ooh, unlucky on the bounces, but it's a good idea. I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so I actually think you could have maledicted first, but it doesn't really matter. You just need to keep sight of this guy. Drow should have actually used split shot right here as soon as he goes out of sight. Just split shot because you know he is somewhere here, and that will reveal his position. But you wouldn't want to, like, you can see over here, right? And you can see over here. And by standing here, you can see here. You know this guy's here, and there's no way he's going to juke this way because, you'll see him. So he's going to go in these trees and walk this way almost like 95% of the time. So I don't think you actually want to walk this way to chase him. I think you have tangos. You walk this way and tango this tree and try to find him. Or you run this way and look for him to pop out. But yeah, this can definitely be a kill, especially if Drow committed multi-shot a little sooner. But yeah, see, he's like getting all this time to run away a bit. And she's going to use multi-shot this way to farm. I think this could have been a kill if it was multi-shot sooner. But, you know, we won't worry about it too much. Well, be careful with that. My experience, I mean, I do this too. This is something I'm learning. I think couriers are a bait. I go for these, and I think you're gonna... You might die here. I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, I remember. There's like a bunch of weird pauses here. We might cut this. Let's try to skip forward. All right, I kind of skipped forward a bit. They seem to have chased too far, and you guys are now somehow winning the trade. Let's just go with it. You're going to get this kill? Maybe not. Unfortunate. Oh. Oh, perfect. Okay, this should be a kill. Yeah, that's a kill. What should you do right now? This is our next question. You just got a kill. You want to trade in a very tough lane. How do we capitalize on this? First, you're going to, as soon as you leave, you're going to use this clarity. And let me point out, you still have all 3 clarities, which this is 150 gold that hasn't done anything for you at the 3-minute and 30-second mark. So that's why I said like 3 clarities is usually too many. Like one clarity, 2 clarities, you never really end up using them back to back, right? So usually using 1 clarity for 30 seconds is enough for the next like minute of your spells, and then you use another clarity. So that's why 2 is kind of enough to get you to the point where you're going to buy your next set of items. And then if you need another clarity, then you can buy the 3rd clarity. But you actually, because you died, you haven't used like any of them. So now is the time to use one of the clarities, and then to probably tango up as you run away. Drow should tango up, maybe even eat one of her own trees because she doesn't have too many tangos left. But Drow will be okay here on her own. Elsie is very low. She doesn't have a salve. And Drow is a ranged hero, so she can stand back here. Legion will be like over here. She'll be okay on her own. You should go pull right now. And I think you do that, actually. It looks like you're going to. Yeah. Good. Full pull. I don't mind this. Because this is a Vol camp and because the guy just died. Don't get the last hit, but honestly not a huge deal. Try to deny this. Don't be too scared. I know she's like right there, but you still get the denies on these. Alright, let's slow down because I recall having something to say here. I think you should actually run this way. So against... First off, this is just faster, I think, rather than going around like this. But also, it helps to keep you apart from Drow. Because what is Drow's escape path? Drow's escape path is this way. Because it would be weird for her to run through. Like, you have the choice, left or right. Whereas Drow kind of only can go this way. And if you're both having to go the same path, then you're just lining up for overwhelming odds. So if you split up, that makes it easier to dodge overwhelming odds, so you're not going to take bonus damage from it.
Just as well.
Yep, right there. You can probably just kill these guys. I would You have two
I
clarities. I would
admit
just commit a
nothing
stun to
but
kill
my
these two.
sadness
It's like
that you're
gold and
gone.
experience for you, but also you don't want to let them chase you too much. Or you could just man up and right click them, and then I would probably run home.
I admit nothing but my sadness that you're gone.
Yeah, I think I would run home right now because it's gonna take you forever to heal up because you didn't want to complete triangles, which I can understand because you want arcane boots. Um, this might be for like a 4 staff later, but that does mean it's gonna take you ages to actually heal up. Even with this tango going, it's gonna get you to about half, and that's like not enough to survive against these two. Drow has one tango, so you could ask her to give it to you when she comes back to lane. But I don't know. She's only level 4, right? We were talking about she can leave at level 6. So is one salve going to be enough to help her survive to level 6? I'd like to let her keep the tango. It is almost 5 minutes, though, so technically you could run for the rune, but I think he'll just die. Like, I think this guy is up. I mean, I know he's up now, but, like, I think he could be at the rune, and LC could definitely be running to the rune as it spawns, and you don't have enough health. So I think you just have to, like, give up the rune, you run home, and then you can TP out after. You should actually be dead. How are you not dead? Oh, this guy's just standing still. He should be kiting forward. That's a tip for everyone. Always kite forward. He should have been like attack, move, and then right before this fades, use Nature's Call so that the treants are attacking you and body blocking, and then he continues to attack, move, chase you, and then you're dead. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. This ward is okay. I actually think you want the ward a bit more in this side, so you can see people coming from lane to gank Drow, whereas like this direction is not so common. Well, maybe it is with a Mars, mid-Mars. Maybe he rotates in. Yeah, maybe this is okay. Let's not worry about it too much. Not get nitpicky. Arcanes tends to be a bit of a bait where people like to save up 900 gold to get Arcanes. But like a Ring of Basilius is 500. It's even less. It's like 425, right? It used to be... Yeah, 425. It used to be like 500 plus. And it's less than half the price of the energy booster. It'll solve a lot of your early game mana issues, especially with the 2 clarities you still have left. And it'll help all of your team. Everyone likes to have the extra mana regen. It'll build into Veil later as well, which will be really good with Zeus. And you have the empty slot for it. So I like to fill up my slots before going for a big purchase, and I consider Arcane Boots to be kind of a big purchase. I think you could if you got a kill and you were at like 600 gold, then it might be okay to save up for it. But even then, I tend to just buy a lot of small items instead. So actually, what I want to point out, if you started TPing like right now-ish, like by this point, you'll finish healing while you're in the fountain, and then you run over, and then you would be able to stack this camp. Just like a small efficiency thing, though. So you're back in lane. Let's see what happens. We're going to try to start to speed up a little bit. We're at 30 minutes. I said we were going to try to avoid this. We didn't. That was kind of going out of position. You're just like really far up against a really aggressive lane. Like even this is kind of scary for you. So up to here is okay. Let's go back. So right now, this is okay positioning. Creeps are up here. Kill off these treants. And you can just wait here, and if they go on her, you like stun from the fog. You guys are kind of chasing him because he's a little low. This is a bug. But this is kind of far. They are a little low. I get why it's tempting. But I don't know. I think you want to be really careful about coming too far. Oh, that's why you guys got baited, because they're healing up, and I don't know if you know that. So you're still playing like out here a bit. Yeah, walking up here, I definitely wouldn't want to do. Once you lose sight of them, be careful of doing this. I would continue to stay like over here. Or more than that, because I saw both of them low, I would probably look to pull. I think that's probably a better idea. Because again, we're just trying to get her to 6 really quickly, so going to pull would give her solo XP, and it would help keep the lane in control. But running out here actually gets you killed, because You're like way out of position. You have a tango, don't you? She cut that? Yeah, she cut that. You should tango this tree and walk out, and then you might have lived actually. She was thinking about dueling. I know she was. All right, is Drow almost at 6? Not quite. You can't quite leave her alone yet, so I think you do have to run back top still. This is where dying was kind of I mean, obviously dying is never good, but... Oh, can you get him? Nice double stun, maybe? Save your lion. Body block for him. That's gonna work out. Okay, this is pretty good. So Drow is now 6. You now have the option to leave her alone. This is why I was kind of thinking like a ward over here is a little nicer. So you can see, like let's say Pudge wants to rotate up here. What's he gonna do? He's gonna TP here and then walk into position and wait to like hook her from the here or like from here. And that's why I think placing a ward here is a little more helpful to see that kind of gank happening. Whereas he's not going to, it's unlikely that he TPs here and then runs all the way around, which would be revealed by this ward. But it's just like, people do what is easiest at this level. And what's easiest is to TP here and walk straight in. Yeah. You and Lion actually have the capability of like doing stuff together. You both have a stun plus Maledict. So between chain stunning your stuff and then with the Maledict damage, you guys are actually pretty good. I don't think you really need to be here. You should just be looking to pull. After that kill, just look to pull right away. Okay, I'm going to make myself not focus on laning too much anymore. I don't want this to be like a 2-hour video. Okay, she's gonna let you kill her. This is scary. Hook it. Oh, that was max range hook. I meant to tango those trees, although maybe you didn't have any. I missed that. Alright, what's she going to do next? Thinking about coming up here. I don't want to go top anymore. At this point, she is 6, so she doesn't have to be in lane anymore. And if the lane gets scary, like there's a Pudge up here, a Legion, she should just leave. She should go jungle, like over here or over here where the Ancients are with her passive. And you and Lion and Slardar should be down here making plays, and then Zeus ults to steal kills. And that's totally fine. It's what he does. And you guys just pressure this bottom lane and force like LC, Pudge, NP to come down here. And, you know, funny enough, by doing that, you make it safe for Drow to come up here if she chooses to. So let's see what you do. I no longer know what happens because this is about as far as I brush through. Waiting a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there. You're undecided what to do. Maybe you were doing something else. You get the arcane boots. We'll see. We'll try to keep track of like how useful that is. Oh, look at these bounces. Nice. Okay. So now, where'd Lion go? Oh, he TP top. Right now, you actually have the potential to get solo kills on some people. Probably Nature's Prophet, because he has no way to cancel your channeling. He can, and she can duel you, and it's kind of hard to do it against her because she might just kill you. And same with Mars. So you can solo kill Nature's Prophet, I would say right now, if you're at like roughly full health. You got hit by his ult. You should know there's a ward here, and in fact, if we look at this, we can see that they do have a ward. But that should give it away, and you should buy a sentry. Or tell Zeus. You should like ping it on the map and be like, I got hit here, so they have a ward somewhere around here. Everyone's going top, so this is the first team play thing. I get it because Zeus is here. I haven't actually been following top because I've just been watching your perspective, and I have no idea what's happening top, actually. That's that's not meant as an insult, but it is to like tell the importance of like looking up here to see. And I don't think you looked up from your perspective because I had no idea. So if Zeus comes here, it now kind of makes sense to... You can't teleport. That's why you're still there. It's scary to come out on your own as Zeus. I guess that's why Slardar's coming in, because they're trying to get kills. So because this is happening, there's 3 heroes from the enemy team, 2 on your team, and then you know Mars is mid. I think you should shove this tower as hard as you can. Throw out Cask. Last hit this. Yep. And then like stun these creeps. Naga now shows you can't really push against her solo. No one's going to be able to come bot for a while because your offlaner TP'd out here and your mid TP'd out here, and there's not too much you can do alone. So I might start running mid once I saw Naga TP in. I would run mid to defend this from Mars, and because this is putting you closer to your other heroes, and that's kind of where you want to be playing, where your teammates are, because you can solo kill Nature's Prophet, but everyone else is really tough. However, you plus one other person is like a kill a lot of the time. Where am I? Sorry, I was still on free cam. So you're defending bottom tower. This is okay, because you are defending a tower. That's good, and you are getting solo farm. But because you're the position 5, Lion should actually be the one doing this, so that he can build up to like a blink dagger, and you can be like active in the fights while he's saving up for, you know, whatever core item. You as a Witch Doctor and as a position 5, you like really don't need that many items. You're getting a Glimmer Cape, which is, I think, a very common purchase for people who have channeled alts like Witch Doctor, CM. I don't know if you watched that video, the Glimmer Cape video, because that just, I think I just released. No, wait, you commented on that, so you did see it. But I don't know if you played this game before or after seeing that game, is what I meant. They don't really have magic damage that you need to be concerned about. So if you're buying Glimmer, it's really just for the survivability aspect, which is like okay. No one on your team has Invis. Drows sometimes buy Shadowblade, but like I wouldn't mind Shadowblade and Glimmer Cape on one team. So for the versatility, it is kind of nice. The downside is that Pudge, Mars, and Song, so Hook, Spear, Song, they can all cancel your ult even if they can't see you. If they see where you go invis when you start channeling your ult, they can cast their spells and interrupt even without detection. And that means Glimmer loses a lot of value, right? If you're against like people who have targeted spells like Venge, who even if they know you're standing like right here, they can't target you with their stun and there's nothing they can do. Can you guys do this? Oh, if you had, okay. You really need Maledict out, like, right away. Okay, so let's see how we could have made this a kill. This is quite scary, but it's actually possible with the two of you. If you're both willing to commit ults. So Lion ran in first. You need to Maledict as soon as possible. And you need to be, like, doing it, like, aim, like, right here so that the edge of the circle will get him. If you Maledicted first instead of stunning, that is a lot of damage. Maledict will now do, like, almost a bar of health every time, plus, like, the damage you guys are doing. And then you commit ult. Yeah. It gets canceled right away, but still, I think it would be enough damage where, like, Maledict would have killed him or gotten really close. So, yeah, you really need to start Maledict if the guy's already stunned. Don't worry about chain stunning, because, like, what's he really going to do? He doesn't have, like, a blink or something, you know? All he can do is, like, Q you away or something. You want to start Maledict if you can. So if you're against someone like AM, yeah, you need to chain stun him. But try to identify, like, when can I get away with Maledict first? Or it should be the other way. It should be, like, default is I Maledict first. What are the cases where I have to actually use a stun first? And that's when someone has, like, a blink or a BKB that would make it like you actually need the chain stun to get the kill. I think so instead of Glimmer, I think maybe first off buying a magic stick to fill up a slot, and then I like Force Staff, I think, first. I know it's not so good against Mars, but it is quite good against Nature's Prophet, and it's I don't know, it just helps your team with general mobility, dodge hooks, stuff like that. Let's see, you have your entire team here, and you just got a kill. This guy's dead 40 seconds, he's the mid laner. I think you guys should group push, try to get mid. So generally, all of you playing mid right now is not efficient, but since you're here right now and you just got a kill, I think you should go for it. Naga should just remain farming, which means at most this is a 3v5. Drow should just try to hit the tower safely, dodge hooks, As long as you guys don't get hooked, like, you'll be fine. I don't think she has a blink either. Yeah. So, like, as long as you don't get hooked, you guys are good. Also, I think Lion has been doing... Actually, maybe I'm not sure. He placed one of these wards, but I haven't noticed too many warding yet. Ooh, running this way is a little scary. Actually, it's fine because Lion's there. Okay. She's faster than you two, I think, so I don't think you'll ever catch her. Yeah, it looks like she's out. But that wasn't too bad. Instead of chasing her, I would go shove this lane out right now because you just got some kills, and you know, don't let that farm go to waste. Let's see how much is there. No, this is a full wave here. You know, don't just let it disappear for nothing. Either you or Lion should be the one to farm. Like, he's trying to get his blink. This is like 200 gold, 300 gold right here. And then another wave will probably come in before people respawn, or like before anyone rotates in. That's another like 200 to 300 gold. And then Lion's blink is like, you know, another 2 or 3 minutes off if he just keeps farming this lane. And especially now that you guys placed a ward here, I think Lion should take this lane by himself, and you run mid. Run mid here. Maledict plus Zeus's burst is enough to kill most people. So if you initiate with Maledict and then Zeus, like WQ ult if he has it, or just W again, and then you're like stunning and auto-attacking, maybe you ult, like you can kill most people actually. So let Lion farm up his stuff, his blink dagger, and you just like you go make stuff happen. You did go check her. That's good. Drow, you don't want to TP here. I don't know if Drow's gonna watch this video, or you just tell your friend, stop TPing top at this point. You don't want to come here. The map's not set up properly, so what you guys wanted to happen is that Drow hits 6 and you guys ditch this top lane where Elsie and Nature's Prophet are up here. Drow comes to farm like here because this is quite safe, or she can farm like this area as long as she is conscientious of these guys like leaving the lane and looking for her in the jungle. But the three of you, Slardar, Lion, and Witch Doctor, you should all come bottom. And the three of you versus, let's say, 3 other people, you should generally be okay because Maledict is actually an amazing spell, and so is Cask bouncing around. But Zeus is also global. So like Nature's Prophet would already have to be down here, so he can't globally move around. Let's say you have Naga down here, Pudge down here, Nature's Prophet, and then Elsie's up here, Mars is mid. They don't have a global presence because he would already be here, and Zeus has ult, which means if you guys initiate, you guys can get a kill before anyone rotates in. You just create a lot of pressure bottom lane, and you take this tower. Once you get this tower, you or Lion, whoever, probably you're the 5, you ward somewhere over here. So like in this corner, up here, or here, over here. You place a ward in this general area to make it safe for Drow. You can also like make it even deeper a bit, like over here, maybe down here. Any of those spots would be good. Make it safe so that Drow can now sit in this bottom lane and farm this whole area. She'll farm these jungle camps. She'll farm these creeps. When it gets scary, when she sees people coming in on the wards or they're missing on other parts of the map, you'll back off to your own triangle and farm here until it's safe again, and then you come out again. And if they push the lane like all the way here, then you just like go take over mid or something, and then make your way back top. And then once you guys get bottom lane, then you guys go to like the mid lane and push that. But right now, by Drow coming top, this is like the least safe spot you could be because you just lost your tower here, which means this whole part of the map is easily invaded by the enemy team. And Drow is someone who will just like straight up die if anyone gets on top of her. She's just dead. And so she wants to be in this bottom lane where it's a bit safer for her. Now let's speed up a bit more. We have like 30 minutes left in this game. Oh, he's gonna get the kill. Are you? Okay, you are. 2 kills, not bad. Probably didn't need to ult there, but we won't worry about it. I'm sure you know that it wasn't needed after that. So you guys are gonna get this tower, or at least pressure it a bit. You should keep going. So actually, that was a perfect example. Let's go back. Drow pressured this tower. She no longer felt safe. What did she have to do? She's spending 10, 15, 20 seconds to run over to farm a small camp. Or she could just be rotating between these. No time wasted walking around. She's just farming 3 camps every minute. Or she's here. This lane is... So this tower's dead. She pushes it up here. She sees someone come in. She doesn't feel safe. She runs out. She comes over here, farms a small camp. If she wants to skip this, fine. She comes over here where she feels safe. She's farming a big camp. You know, that's way better than a small camp. And then she comes over here to these, where the ancients are, and then she feels safe here again. Whereas here, she's like farming these because she feels safe here, but honestly, this is still quite a dangerous spot to be in, because they can just run over. And like, what are you going to do? Are you going to come here and farm? They can still run up here. This is still, like, scary to be in. Whereas for them, if this tower is up and mid tower is up, it's a lot scarier for them to chase a drow all the way over here. And drow just wants to be farming until her next major item, which might be like... It depends on the timing, you guys. This game's a bit even in terms of kills, so I wouldn't expect you to know that they're ahead in terms of gold. But if you're going for like an early game, mid game timing, then, you know, things like BKB, Hurricane Pike. But whenever she hits her timing is when she's like ready to go, and she's just gonna farm until then. This is really scary for you to stand here. I would be like standing up here instead. What happened? So there were people bottom. Lion was bottom. What happened to Lion? I just killed by Naga. Let's look at the levels real quick. Naga doing well. What she got? Ooh, Manta. Manta and 1200. Doing very well. She should have more Wraith Bands, though, I think. Actually, I'm not sure what the meta is now, so never mind. But you guys are on the back foot. You should know that. So you guys kind of are planning to just go late, I guess, is my feeling. You can technically still make plays and try to come back, but I think like this game is going to go 40 minutes plus no matter what.
Guess what's happening to Dyer's bottom tower?
And you don't want to give up too many free towers that way. Like, Naga should not be able to get a tower on her own. She should just be farming. If she feels safe enough to, like, push a tower that long to get it, when she's not even, like, the best tower taker, kind of, I guess, no good. So, you dying there is not the worst thing in the world. Like, if he wants to reveal his blink and ult for you, not too bad. And your team gets a lot of return kills. This is quite good. Your team should push mid. Everyone. Alright, looks like that's happening. You're TPing bottom. I would just walk bottom. I don't think you need to use a TP there. Oh, maybe. It might be okay. Your teammate should rotate bottom. So Drow's where she wants to be, farming. Slardar's here, this is good. But you guys still need like 3 people to push this tower, probably. And I really want you guys to push this tower and take this tower. If you're playing as a team, as a general rule, just tell yourselves, like, hey, let's always try to get this tower if it's up. If we ever feel lost, we should try to get this tower. If we don't know what to do, get this tower. If we look at the towers on the map and we're like, oh, all of them are up, let's get this tower. It's... Like, if you've been watching the videos, there are different... It's just hard to summarize all the different reasons why, like, getting this tower is just good. So even without fully understanding why it's good, just try to get your friends to do it. And then, like, I think the games will just feel easier when that tower is down. This is very scary. You're about to run in here blind against a lot of people that could kill you. You really need to be with a friend. He should... I think he could just kill you if he wanted to. Looks like now he's going to go for it. You guys are sort of looking for a fight? Where are your wards? You have one. I guess some got dewarded. Okay, I don't mind that spot. We get the solid ward. Nice. You guys regularly have like all 5 of you together. I feel like that's inefficient in terms of farming. And in fact, if I recall, yeah. So these are your team's last hits. And they have way more last hits than you guys. So part of that is probably that they won, so they're just stronger in general. But still, it's a quite a big difference in last hits. And let's take a look at you guys right now, actually. Yeah, it is hugely different in terms of last hits right now. And part of that is because you guys keep grouping up as 5 and not necessarily taking objectives. If all 5 of you happen to be together and you take an objective, it's okay. But if the 5 of you come together to get a couple kills and then disperse without any objectives, it's not so good. And I think that's starting to reflect in terms of last hits, where they're way ahead of you. You guys are not the best farmers, to be fair, but... Oh, this is a cool effect. I hadn't actually seen that yet. But that's kind of all the reason more why you guys need to like actually take objectives when you group. And you kind of like... Okay, so this kill's good. I agree backing up a little when you're not sure. But with Slardar running in on your team, I think you should be turning around and going. Just kill this creep real quick so that they lose vision. And then, like... I feel like I don't know what's going on in the fight. This is going to come off harsh, I feel like. And I don't mean it when I comment like this. But one thing that a lot of people need to work on is to, like, look around more in the game. It's like right now we're looking here and a fight is going on. And I have no idea what's happening in this fight. You know, I have no idea where Pudge is trying to hook from. I have no idea where, like, Mars might blink in from. I have no idea what Elsie's doing. I don't know what Slardar's doing. I don't know how that fight's going. And without knowing that, I don't know if I should run away or move in. And so something a lot of people need to work on is to just, like, look over, see what's happening, you know, glance around, and then snap back to your hero with the hero hotkey. That is much easier said than done. I know, you know, so it's like unfair to criticize people too harshly about it. And I'm not meaning to, but I really feel like sometimes when I just watch from players' perspectives in these kind of replays, I feel like I don't know what's happening. And part of that is because I wasn't the one playing the game, and that's why I try to be a little careful about it. You know, where if you're playing the game, you just have a better feeling as opposed to watching from an outside perspective. But still, it's like, you know, let's go to you right now. Now we can see a bit more of what's going on. But actually, let's rewind. So what was I talking about with this whole fight? So here we are healing. So we see this pick off. Right now, I don't know. I don't know if I saw Pudge or LC or any of them. Oh, I know LC's here. But, like, where's Pudge? Where's Mars? Mars blinked in. Where's Pudge? Pudge just hooked someone from over there. Where's LC right now? Now she's dead. Is Slardar almost dead? I don't know. And maybe you guys are talking, which makes it better, you know? So from my perspective, it's just like I'm in the dark, but maybe you guys are talking it out. And if that's the case, then feel free to ignore me. But that's just my feeling of, like, I don't know what's happening. And that might be because you need to, like, look around a bit more. Oh. I would just run in there. Yeah, Slardar got it. Alright, now what do you guys do? You took his tower. All 3 of you no longer need to be here. You have 1 ward up. Did you see him ward? You know what I mean? I'm, like, having to look over here to see what's going on. But you should have, you should have clicked him, checked his items, to see what's going on that way. Know who's over there. What's your next objective right now? For you guys, in this state of the game, I think it's okay to go get the top tower, even though the top tower here is usually not that important. But with the changes to the T2 and the shrines, it is a little scary to push. It's harder to play in this area than it used to be. It's still generally good, but it's kind of okay if you're, especially if you're on the back foot, to just try to get all the tier 1s first to help yourselves out that way. He's gonna survive. Man, Slard are so fast in the river. At this point, it's a little tough. Things you could think about.
Dyer's mid
You guys can do Roche a lot easier than they can because you have Slardar and you have a Drow. So the next time you guys win a fight, you could try to take Roche on. You guys should be strong enough to do it at this point. Like I was saying, you guys can go for the top tower. You guys are just trying to get more gold at this point. You should have this feeling where you're kind of even going into this mid to late game part, and that favors Naga a bit. So you should know that it's like, okay, we're gonna go to the late game at this point. We just need to get as much gold as we can so that we're not like way behind, right? Going into the late game, if you're even, is doable. Going into the late game when you're way behind, you're probably gonna lose. So you just need to do like small things that can help you get gold. I think Ags is what would I buy? Ags is a little bit of a weird purchase because, like she's gonna have illusions and he's gonna have treants. So there's gonna be a lot of bouncing already. But because she has Song, she has Duel, he is building an Orchid. Mars has a stun, or he could drop Arena on you, put you at the edge. It's got Hook and Ult. There are so many ways to cancel your ult. Several of them, which are like the AoE from Song is a fantastic one. I don't know if Ags is worth it. I think maybe a BKB so that... No, wait, let me think a bit. I think a Veil would be really good to amplify Zeus. I think... What's it called? Aeon Disc would be pretty good to not get burst down by like Hook or a Blink Duel, so that you buy time for your team to react. Is anyone getting... No, I think a Solar Crest could be nice to buff up your Drow a lot. Remember, this is a lot of physical damage on their team, so if you put that on Drow, that could be quite helpful. Lotus is not so useful this game. Slardar hasn't really been building auras, so you might even get a Vlad's. Vlad's is quite good for Drow. It gives her some... No, it doesn't give armor anymore. That got changed. But it does give her lifesteal and bonus damage, and she builds a lot of agility, and she even has some from her her ultimate. So Vlad's would be really good. Spirit Vessel, not so good this game because, you know, she can purge it, and it's hard to know who the real illusion is, so I wouldn't really get that one. Yeah, that's probably enough items to consider already. Solar Crest or Vlad's feels like the strongest to me right now. And then maybe a Greaves, because you already got Arcane Boots. Mech would give you guys a lot of armor. I kind of like that, actually. Yeah, I would say Vlad's, Mech, or Solar Crest. I think those three items are really good this game. Ooh, that creep. What's happening here? She still went for it! That's crazy. Alright, 20 damage Lion incoming. This guy dead next? Yep, should be. Alright, this is really good. What do you guys do right now? You get bottom or mid, probably, because you guys are right here. I would say, because the creeps are all the way over here, like, look how long it takes to get to the tower. Quite a long time. I think you guys go mid right now. You could possibly get this mid T2 tower. Are either of you carrying wards? Lion's carrying a ward. So, placing a deep ward back here, right? Right now, you know the map is very safe. So coming back here, placing a ward like here, or like here or here, that could be really good to get a deep ward in now while it's safe, and it's unlikely to get dewarded. I don't know if you know Naga is here. That could be an objective. Like, with all of you alive, you could go kill Naga. In fact, let's just start playing again. Let's see if that's what you do. What are we at? We're at an hour. I think the end of the game usually goes faster. Okay, so you guys are getting mid. This is good. Oh, actually, you guys should get Roshan. I take it back. I forgot I said that's what you guys should do. You should get Roshan while they're all dead. Forget the mid tower. Just sprint straight to Roshan and do that. And especially, so like, let's say you didn't get this Ags. You would have a Medallion right now. You have Medallion plus, if you chose to get it, you know. Even without it, you could do it. You have Slardar ult plus a Drow. You guys take Roshan before they do anything. And that would give you guys... You know, it's not going to guarantee your win, but it's giving you guys a lot of gold, experience, and this Aegis, which guarantees that it's like the next fight is probably in our favor. This is some counter synergy, but it's going to work out for them. Let's go back, because this is actually now the counter throw. So you guys just won the fight. That's when you guys should have... So we're now saying we should have gone Roche instead. Mid tower is probably like second best objective. They fortify. They're buying some time. You guys are choosing to get mid. Actually, what's happening? Oh, I'm on the wrong... So Slardar should not run top on his own. He's the initiator and team fighter, and he's kind of needed for this. He can't really go off on his own for this. Even though he's really fast, like, I think he needs to be here. But now, so they fortified. You guys have lost a bit of time. As Elsie is about to respawn, I think this is time to get out. I don't think you want to be here anymore. And if you still think, like, if all of your team was here, you could still stay a little longer. Probably about 5 seconds longer. But because there's only 3 of you here, they actually have enough to 3-on-3 you, right? So with Elsie coming up and your team having split off, I think you have to back up before she respawns. Now, at this point, you definitely need to back up because he's about to respawn. And at this point, she could run in and song you guys, let him teleport in, and then, like, start a fight. Or she songs, Elsie comes up to duel, he runs up to sprout someone. You guys are all clumped up right here. I don't know how that happened because I was looking up here. I wasn't paying enough attention. But at this point, like, Mars is teleporting in. This is a very easy... Look at this. This is a perfect Naga song, 3 people. Mars comes in, ults, 3, maybe even gets you, 4. She's not the one you want to go on. You guys want to, first off, not take direct team fights. They're better at direct team fights because of what they have, I feel like. I think you guys are better at picking people off, and especially using Zeus ult to, like, scout to see when they're split up on the map, and then start a fight, like, on 2 people, get some kills very quickly, and now the fights are easier. I don't think you want to take direct 5-on-5s against the Naga, Siren, and Mars. But you're going on her when she's incredibly tanky. And this is why I said some counter synergy, because he is wasting his ult. But still, like, they've set you up 5 people very well while Pudge comes in. So Pudge is probably going to hook, what, Drow or Slardar? I'm sorry, that was you. What am I saying? Now she's going to blink dual supports. So this is all... Oh, he is going to get the Drow. Not a bad ult from you, honestly. But it's just a little too late. Because they just got a really good initiate on you guys. This is kind of what I was saying earlier, an hour ago, where I was like, it kind of goes both ways, where either team could win, depending who gets the good initiate. And what are we looking at? I think you're picking items or something. Is he gonna get this? This is a pretty bold buyback. If more of you could buy back, probably still isn't worth it, actually. I don't know. I think Zeus just needs to try to get out on his own. I wouldn't fortify this tier 2. We're going to see if they do it, but they could... Naga did back. She's going for a butterfly. Why would you do that? That's not good against a magic damage team. And she's a lot of their tower damage if she's allowed to just, like, freely hit. But having said that, Treant and Mars, not bad at taking towers themselves either. Oh, actually, Mars doesn't have a Deso. He has the Deso, so it still works out. Yeah, they could... I feel like if Naga hadn't backed, they could push. This is really funny. You're going to die for it, but I respect that, coming out to kill this guy. Actually, it is kind of worth it, because this guy was a good amount of their push. So, like, you for him is pretty good. Or Lion for him. Are you guys gonna get out? No. Well, you might. Oh, this is... Okay, not bad. Go to Roche. You can't because Slardar bought back and he's dead forever. What's Drow got? I don't play enough Drow to know if this is the right build. Feels okay against illusions, but I'm not sure. I kind of think you just want more typical physical damage when you have a Slardar, but not fully sure. But with this build, you definitely can't go to Roche without Slardar. So I think maybe you guys just ward up right now and de-ward with Zeus. So like, see how a lot of them are dead and Zeus is here in your jungle? You guys need to be like actively like moving on the map, doing dangerous things that aren't dangerous right now because they're dead. This is safe to do when they're alive. Coming out here to farm their jungle and de-ward is safe to do when they're dead. And it is dangerous to do when they're alive. So it's like, why are you doing this, which you can do when there's some... I don't know what just happened outside. I should investigate. This is something you can do when you guys are retreating because it's dangerous. But instead you're it's wasting time. I wasn't going to say it because it sounds mean, but like it is important to get the message across. It's wasting time like farming in the jungle when they're dead, and you can come like establish map control. You can push in lanes. Like this is pushing in your favor, but like this position itself is not particularly good. It'd be better for the lane to be up here. Mid's in a good spot for you guys. Bottom is slowly pushing for you. But yeah, this would just be a great time to come like de-ward their stuff, right? Like imagine you definitely have time to have run down here and de-ward both of these. Let's see if that happens. Okay, checking this area. Not sure what the ult was for. But yeah, see how we like stayed in this area this whole time where it was very safe despite 2 of them being dead and we had 5 up on our team? We should definitely be coming out here to their team and de-warding some of their stuff. Go back to you. Are you guys smoked? Yeah, that's pretty scary to run out on your own. Slardar is the guy to do that stuff. This is, why is he always sawing at these, like, times? Yeah, so we're starting to see what I was talking about, like, who gets the good initiate. Lion walked in on his own and kind of got killed before anyone could react. He didn't quite die, but he's, like, so close to death, it's, like, the same thing. And then Slardar has to go in, and then you guys are all grouped up, like, running in, despite, like, you guys don't actually have good vision to see where everyone is. And because of that, they get this, like, combo off on you guys, and you all die. And it's really not how you want to play with this lineup. They are better at team fights. You guys are better at pickoffs, especially with Slardar. Let Slardar or Lion leads, but they need to do it in a way where the team is ready to follow up. So, like, Lion is way up here. If he finds someone and blinks over here and starts a fight, everyone else is back here, which means none of you guys can do anything. You have to all be on the same page, maybe smoked up, run here, and then Lion can be the first to blink in and start something. Or Slardar can be the one to blink in and start something, and Lion waits to see, like, someone else, or to just chain stun. Or you guys, like, wait in the side lanes. Let them split up a bit. Use Zeus ult to spot the whole map, and then you see, like, 2 bottom, 1 mid, 1 in the jungle, 1 up here. And it's like, hey, let's go fight these 2 people right here. Kill them. 5v3. They can't have a better team fight than us if there's only 3 of them. Yeah. You know? What's your neutral item? I haven't been paying attention to that. What are your options? I might actually say you want to hold the Ring of Aquila for your team because it provides an armor aura, 2 armor, not bad, and more mana regen, also pretty good for your team. And then I would have this backpacked, just swap it out. Dig. Craggy Coat's also really good for either 3 of you, actually. For either Zeus, Lion, or you. And I see Zeus is using Quickening Charm, which I agree with. That's really good for him. So then either Lion or you should be using this. This is 12 armor, and you guys don't auto attack a lot, right? It's not your job. So just having a bunch of armor against these guys is great.
Absolutely perfect.
Oh. So, looks like you guys are getting into this point where you're getting trapped in your base a bit. He just blinks in. Is this gonna work? It is. I think you guys knew they had blinks, right? So this is really risky positioning. I know it kind of feels safe to be back here, but as we just saw, it's not. And so if you have people dead and you really need everyone to be up, you just have to be like even further back, like back here, or like if you know Pudge is here, then like be over here, where he would not have been able to blink over. And if you see Pudge running over to like over here, then you swap sides. You come over here. And Zeus, plenty of long range. He's got Aether. He's got his Q. From here, you can defend the tower, as opposed to here, where you can defend the tower, but you're also within range of Pudge. And this is definitely way too close up. Definitely try to stay further back. I'm gonna guess you guys lose a Rax here. This is kind of deep. Slar going hard on the stuns. They dove a little too hard, I guess. Oh, I went too far back. Okay. Speed up bunch. I wanted to watch from your perspective. This guy dies. Not bad. So they do end up diving a little too hard. Imagine how much better this fight would go if Drow or Zeus was up. You know? You guys would have turned this fight. That's kind of the downside of like anyone ever getting picked off. Still, this goes way better than it should for you guys. Getting 2 kills. They dove before... I think Naga was getting Roshan, and she's still not here, you know? So I don't think... Actually, maybe she did run in and I wasn't paying attention. Go back again. Did Naga ever join here? No, yeah, she wasn't here. Not crazy. So they tried to start a fight without their team either. So they just counter through a bit. But they do have Roshan and Naga. If you guys lose one more fight, you're probably going to lose a lot of racks. I guess you can only lose one set because they haven't gotten the T2s on this side, but they should do that. Play. So I don't think you noticed quite yet that he was on you. You were looking over here. At this point, aim yourself up here. Force staff yourself up onto the high ground. You're throwing your stun right now, so you can force staff yourself up here. Maledict him. Glimmer ult. He might just hook you down. That's true. But if he misses, because you've glimmered and he like doesn't know where you went or something, or say for example you just force staff up here, glimmer, and then juke the hook, you probably won't die here. But you had the force staff, and you should definitely look to like come up the high ground towards your 2 teammates, or maybe even high ground backwards towards Zeus. But this is just kind of bold for your team to do anyways, like smoke without more vision. What you can choose to do is like your team positions here, you Zeus check everything, and then Zeus uses ult to see where everyone is. And then if you see someone like out of place on their own, you guys ult in. But I mean, maybe I missed it, but it seemed like you guys kind of like blind smoked and were hoping to find someone. Maybe I missed something you guys saw. Definitely possible. Come on, your perspective? Yeah. I would be looking around. Look around to click people, see what they're up to, see their items. Close to a Aghanims. I'm not sure if it'll really change much. I know it gives you True Strike and it bounces around, but I'm not sold on it. But I don't play that much Witch Doctor, so maybe it's way better than I'm imagining it. There was a lot of pauses in this game, huh? Oh. Okay, here we are again. We're looking for tower defense. If you guys can hold a little longer, I think it will start to lean in your favor. Zeus is really good at the high ground defense, so... Okay, they just smoked. You saw that. That was good. It's kind of silly for them to smoke, in my opinion, because you know you're sitting in your base. Like, I don't know. There's, like, no point in my mind to smoke. It's kind of funny to me they smoked and then backed off. They should have just, like, de-warded this area. I wouldn't commit Nimbus randomly like that. I know that's not you doing it, but just for your team's sake, like, hold Nimbus. It's really good to cancel TPs. Now, I know you guys are on the defensive. Does anyone have bots on their team? No. But sometimes what people will do is they'll have bots. They'll be split pushing, and it's like, okay, when you guys get to the base, I'll come in to fight. And then that's when you feel a team fight's coming on, you Zeus ult, look to the guy who's on their own, see if they're teleporting, and then you Nimbus them. And then the guy can't come into the fight, and it's really good. You pretty much just won the fight for your team. But without Nimbus up, it doesn't really do anything. Just to, like, poke a little bit, right? That's what this was Mars was standing here, and you Nimbus him. And it does a little bit of damage to him, but it's like, it's not really worth it. In terms of your wards, because you're so scared of Pudge Hook right now, I would consider, like, a ward over here to make this whole... It makes mid and top safe. And you guys have a ward here right now? No, this is the enemy team's ward. Yeah, I might want to recap this hill, but not necessarily place a ward here, because I would say that's where they check. I think where your wards are is fine, actually, for this side. But yeah, having a ward like here is really helpful to scout out the people waiting to, like, blink in and fight you guys. Aww. Second I sped up. Alright, what happened here? We see two of their heroes. We're a little close. Oh, you guys wanted to initiate on him. Yeah, I don't know if that's what you want to do. What are you doing? Thanks. Yeah, so this fight right here, I just don't think Lion wants to initiate, because Lion's really... Two reasons. Lion's really squishy. Lion's almost at his level 20 talent, where he can use Mana Drain to kill off illusions really quickly. So Lion kind of wants to wait for Naga to appear. So let Slardar be the one to engage, start the fight. He's very tanky. He has BKB. He doesn't care if everyone goes on him, if Mars ults him, because he can BKB and walk out. He's so tanky. You know? He's the one who can do this. Whereas what we see, we have a very squishy Lion who, when he blinks in, has no way to get out, and he can't get out of Mars ult. So at this point, Slardar's the only one who can really initiate for you. And you didn't need to blink right on top of him. You could blink here, Q, and hit him. Or you could blink here, Hex him, and then Q. And this is still a safer position than being, like, way up here. You don't need to blink right next to the guy. Make use of your cast range talents and stuff. Aether Lens, plus you took the cast range talent. Just ground target. Earth Spike actually goes a really long way. So I think by default, can we actually see? Yeah, so right now you can click all the way out here, but then the spike goes even further. The spike goes all the way out to, like, here or something. So, like, Pudge was here. You could stand here, target the ground here, and you could stun Pudge. And this is like 800 distance that you didn't need to be right on top of Pudge, who... That's literally what he wants. He wants people to be on top of him so he can slow them, he can easily ult them, hook them. Like, this long-range stun from Lion is one of the ways to actually cancel his ultimate. And so if Lion's the one that goes in, then it's like, now who does it? Now Slardar has to, like, jump in to do it. You do have, like, some other ways to do it as well, actually. But I don't know. Lion is just, like, you're more the back line than Slardar is. And this was a front line kind of play. And especially without buyback, it's quite scary to do that. Only people with buyback should be, like, risking their life that hard, I think. My sister brought me a watermelon drink. Alright, this should kill Pudge. Not bad. 27, that's scary. You guys might die here. Or if you don't lose, this is putting them in a position to win. Ooh, you don't have buyback. You can't walk up here. They're not going to commit. Okay. Yeah, this is really far out positioning. You guys just have to remember, Witch Doctor, Lion, actually 4 of you are backliners. Slardar is the frontliner. You really don't want to be running out here, especially if you don't have buyback. I would just be happy with holding, you know, that they start to throw, even though they only took 1 Rax. And not necessarily look to go out too far. Right now, 4 of them are dead. What do you guys do? You should shove out their lanes. Let's look at your perspective. Bottom lane is good for you. The bottom lane's good for you. Don't need to worry about that. Mid will get there, but you guys do need to shove it out a bit. Top, you guys need to shove out. Roshan, unfortunately, not up yet. But I don't know if you guys would know that, and that might be something you have to look for an objective. That would be really good to take. It would get you Aegis and Cheese, and that's pretty good because you guys don't have buybacks on several core heroes. More than that, it would remove it from the enemy team, which is just really nice as well. You guys are pushing a bit. Let's see what you're doing while you're dead. Picking items, maybe? Okay, there we go. You're looking around. I feel like watermelon as a drink is kind of weird, guys. I like watermelon as a fruit, but then when it gets turned into a drink, I don't know. It's like too grainy for me. I'm so ungrateful. I'm happy for this drink. Okay, cap top. I'm just looking at the mini-map right now. This is what I do as the hard support when I play party games. If I'm playing with a team, I spend a lot of my time just looking at the mini-map. More so than I do in a regular pub game. Just to help try to coordinate my team, because communication is a lot better in team games, party games, I mean. Kind of like sour, guys. I'm not sure what's in this. Like, definitely watermelon and then something else. What is this? Okay, what are your tier 4 items? Illusionist Cape. Timeless Relic. Timeless Relic needs to go on Lion or Zeus. I kind of feel like Illusionist Cape could be good on Drow. But if she doesn't want it... Yeah, I guess Paladin Sword is probably better. Maybe on Slardar then, because then he can, first of all, 14 strength is quite nice, 14 armor, or I'm sorry, 14 agility, which is a little bit of armor. Plus you can try to bait people with the illusion. I think that would be pretty good. And, you know, he's not meant to be damage at this point. He's just meant to stun people and survive. And, you know, strength for health, armor from agility, plus a little bit of attack speed for, you know, your passive to try to, like, lock people down. Not bad. And then maybe you take this Princess Knife, actually. I think that's good for you. Kind of a support item.
Radiant's gone and
Oops, where are you?
structures.
Oh, Lord. Get out.
Just got stuck.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Right now, I think you guys... You should try to figure out neutral items, like, as fast as possible. So Drow, I don't think this is good for Drow. I think Paladin Sword's better for Drow, or this Illusionist Cape is better for Drow. This is like a support item. Let them be the one to hex someone. Let the support like Hex, and then the carries take something else. Right now, the fight's breaking out. Not sure what's happening. I feel like I really do want to emphasize this. I think this will help you a lot as a player. Is just like proper. Is like looking around more. It's like if I talk to you about decision making, right? Where it's like, if you see this and this, what's the decision? I bet you could figure it out. Most people can, especially as they learn about the game. But it's about collecting information. And I think moving the minimap around is like really important, or like moving your map around. So like right now, there's a fight going on, and you're like looking at the edge of it. You're looking at like half the fight, and this half of the screen is really unnecessary information. It's like, if I was to free cam and look at this fight to see what's going on, I'm looking up here, right? And now let's see what we can see. We see all of these heroes, like what part of my screen is useless? This corner, you know, this bit a little, but we might see like enemy heroes running in from here. Whereas over here, like you're standing here, which means you know there are no enemy heroes over here. And so even though you're seeing like this top part of the fight, or this bottom part of the fight at the top of your screen, like seeing over here and over here like is not providing you useful information. And this part is still okay because like the enemy team might walk in from that way. I just think it's really important to be like looking up, like collecting information just by positioning your screen in the right place. I just feel like I'm not sure what you should do in the fight because I don't know what's going on in the fight. Now this is a pretty good option for the fight, is to do this. Are you guys dead? It might be. I would like force myself out immediately. Okay. Illusionist Cape. I guess I might actually kill her. Maledict. Illusionist Cape. Arcanes. I kind of feel like Zeus should have kept pumping spells at her. I might have died under Maledict. Does she still have the Aegis? Did I miss that? Oh, she does. Yeah, so never mind. Better to stay alive. Although it's not bad to get the Aegis at a time when there's only 3 alive.
Dyer's mid tower's having technical
He did use buyback though, so he has to be a little safe. You have the Illusion Escape though. You should definitely pop that out. Just add a little bit of confusion into the game. Does it make sense for you to have Timeless Relic, you know? I guess it's kind of good on Maledict, but, you know, who cares about your stun damage? Hang on, we gotta back up. Like, your stun is 1 second. Amplified by what? 25? So you now have 1.25 second stun. Which bounces around, might hit creeps, might hit illusions, you know. Lion has an AoE stun that is 2.6 seconds. A Hex, 4 second duration. Amplify that. That is a 5th second for free. Plus he has Finger, ton of magic damage. Zeus, mini stuns. Did he take that talent? No, but whatever. He just does a ton of damage, right? I'm kind of okay with him keeping the Quickening Charm. So I think Lion should be the one with the whatever you're holding, Timeless Relic. It's pretty important to put these on the right heroes. Like, let's compare it to an actual item. So, what would it take to get 15 spell damage? Get rid of that. To get 15 spell damage, Kaya has 8. Whereas Yasha and Kaya has 16. A 4,000 gold item. Now, I know there are other stats on Kaya, but just to get the spell amp, like, you would need to buy this 4,000 gold item. Now, where is Octarine? So Octarine reduces the cooldown of your spells, which is not quite the same. In fact, I can't remember why I came to Octarine at all. I was thinking of the debuff duration, which is something you can't even buy. It's kind of the reverse of status resistance, so I guess we can think about it that way, where if the enemy team wanted to reduce their status resistance or increase their status resistance by 25%, there's again like Sanj and Yasha or Sanj and Kaya, which is about 20% status resistance, and Satanic, which is 30%. So somewhere between these two items, another 4,000 gold item and like an almost 6,000 gold item, that is the effect of Timeless Relic. So Timeless Relic is like a 5,000 gold item in terms of its effects. And we're putting it on the hard support who isn't being that amplified with it. It's kind of a waste. You know? It's really important to get these later game items on the right heroes. Drow is getting... Projectile speed doesn't even matter. Her attack is so fast anyways. Who cares? The Hex, not bad. But what did she give up for it instead? She gave up 14 agility and 14 strength and an illusion. You know, if we compare that to Manta, Manta is a... What the heck is Manta? I never buy Manta. Can you tell I'm a support player? Manta is 4,600 gold. And it gives you... Yeah, it gives you more agility and stuff, and it gives you more illusions. But, you know, still, it's like free in this item. Or like the lifesteal, the 20 damage and 16 lifesteal. Let's compare that to where is it? Like Mask of Madness, 15 damage and 20% lifesteal. Or like the Satanic, 25 damage and, you know, generally 25% lifesteal, but with an active. Like, the comparisons aren't the best, but this is a... Princess Knife is a support item in most cases, in my opinion. And let them take something else that has, like, actual value for them. This is technically a Hex, which is, like, a very expensive item, but your support could do it for you. They could Hex the target you're going for, whereas the support cannot provide you damage and lifesteal. This is just too far out. There's nothing to say about that. It's just some general positioning mistakes in this game. Oh, she's so low. Yeah, I don't think this finger talent's worth it. I don't even know if this works retrospectively. Whether it's like... Oh, it looks like it is. Because this should only be... Okay, I guess it is retrospective. But even then, I don't know if that's worth it. 20 times 7, so you do 140 more magic damage versus killing off 2 illusion heroes. And if we look at Naga, you're killing up to 3 illusions that have 3,700 health. And I know they take amplified damage, but still, you know, it's just like you're instantly killing the illusions. I think the game's over at this point. Right? I'd be amazed if you guys held... I don't quite remember how long the game is. No, I can see it right here. Yeah, you guys are pretty much dead. Yep. So, let's recap while the game ends. We're an hour and 30 minutes. I guess it's not the worst I've done in terms of time. What is in here? I think I'm like swallowing a bunch of watermelon seeds. Your team's objective priority was a little off. So... in terms of objective priority, you guys grouped up a lot, but didn't actually take objectives. You guys, like, won fights, but didn't get objectives, and that's what matters. In terms of, let's see, the neutral items, that part was a little scattered around. I think you guys should work on getting the right people the right items. A bit of positioning, you guys are just, like, walking out too far, or, like, line is initiating instead of Slardar. Just, like, general... team fight positioning stuff, which is really hard to like improve like off the bat. I know. You should always consider when your team can do Roshan. So like you guys had that moment where we talked about it, where it's like at first I thought you should get mid tower, but then I was like, oh wait, you guys should just get Roshan. You should also keep that in mind. When you can just sneak Roshan really quickly when you get like 3 kills like that, and you get Roshan uncontested. Why you lost the game? Just felt like the enemy team was being a bit more efficient. They were farming more. They were getting objectives sooner. They got Roshan. You know, this wasn't... I didn't see, like, a massive mistake you guys made. But it was just, like, this accumulation of general mistakes where the enemy team, like, built this advantage, and then you guys still had a chance, but then you took bad fights by like having the wrong people go in or being out of position. And, you know, medium mistakes like that do eventually snowball into a loss. And in my opinion, that's what happened. Guys, the game just crashed, so I guess that's my cue that this is the end of the video. Although that's not fair. Usually we rewind at the end of the screen, so I feel like we should do that. Let's update the game. We did kind of do a summary, but we'll take a look at it with some data. So yeah, it looks like, you guys had a chance and you were winning some fights, but then they are just like slowly building this advantage from being more efficient. And we even looked at their last hits. They just like farmed way more than you guys. You have 2 heroes at 200. They have 3 heroes at 200 and 1 at 350, which is pretty insane. In terms of damage, Zeus does so much, right? So a Veil would have been really nice to amplify his abilities, I think. The enemy team really should have bought more sentries. You guys didn't need to because you had a Zeus, but at the same time, I saw a lot of wards on the map a lot. And I think there was one point where we talked about, like, you had time to de-ward them because you just want to fight, but you guys didn't. And you, like, it's really good to establish vision when you can, and you need to identify when you can, and that is when it's safe to go to the enemy team side. If they're all up, you can't really do it, but if they're all dead, like, you have to do it in this time. It is a window of opportunity that you may not get again for like 6 minutes, who knows how long. So when you get those opportunities, you really have to take them. Your skill build and itemization overall seemed fine. We already talked a bit about like things that could have changed around, but like none of the items scream like this is an awful choice to me. The Aghanims is a little weird, but like at the same time, I get why you did it. So, I don't think it necessarily led to a loss either way. What else was I gonna do? There's something I was gonna talk about, but now I can't remember. Oh yeah. So for you, one thing I think you can work on is to work on what you're looking at in the game. Trying to keep that in mind a little bit more to help yourself get useful information. It's tough. It's hard to remember, but I think it is very good when you can get used to moving the map around and then like snapping back to your hero to pick up a bit more information and then like get back to where you are so you're not like totally lost. Like, where's my hero? I've lost it. I think that's just a really good skill to pick up. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope that was helpful. Hour and a half about. Kind of long, but yeah. I hope that helped. And that's all I gotta say. Bye. Oh my goodness, I almost tipped over my drink. That was really close.